Hello everybody, welcome once again to my reviews, and this is a review of Come Out Tonight by Richard Laymon, published in 1999. So, Come Out Tonight, this is my old copy. It's a brilliant old book, this. I would put this in a Laymon top 10 for me, because I do like this story. This is one of the ones I can read again and again and again. It is... this book is proper Laymon. This has a lot of brutality to stomach, very violent. There's quite a bit of violence towards like females in this book, but that's nothing unusual with Richard Laymon's books. So some of the scenes that you read in this are quite stomach churning, but as with all Richard Laymon's books, he goes right into that 70s style, no holds barred. Hills have eyes, I've said this before, you know, last house on the left, I spit on your grave style violence. And Richard Laymon's sickos, psychopaths, they're proper sickos. You know, he knows how to do a sicko. I've said this in other reviews. He definitely knows how to do a sicko on that level of, you know, sickery. So yeah, this is one of the Laymons that I can read again and again, and I do like it. So I'm just going to read the write-up quickly on the back. It's a hot, hot night. Too hot to be making love unless your romance is young, like Sherry and Dwayne. It's their first time, and there's just one problem. They have no condoms. Of course, they could wait until tomorrow. In the unusual circumstances, the 24-hour Speedy Mart is not a place anyone would want to visit at night. But these aren't unusual circumstances. Dwayne throws on his clothes. The store is just 10 minutes down the block. Now Sherry is waiting. 10 minutes has gone. So has 20. She's not worried. What's another few minutes? Then she hears the noise from down the street. It might be a door slamming. It might be the backfire of a car. But Sherry thinks it sounds mostly like a gunshot. So there you go, guys. That's the write-up on the back of Come Out Tonight. It's got the really good cover art, you know, and the big Richard Laymon writing, which was pretty much all the same for all these books around this time. Like I say, I started reading Laymon around 2006, 2007, and I do find him to be a good writer. I like his books. A lot of people don't. I've read a lot of reviews and some people hate his books, but I really like his books. So this particular story is set in the hottest sort of season time in LA, and the wildfires are spreading through LA, destroying, damaging properties, which we've heard a lot of, haven't we, on the news and stuff like that. It's horrific, isn't it? But it's nature, isn't it? And heat like that, and it's going to start, isn't it? So the killer in this book, it's going to have spoilers, this review. There's a guy called Toby Bones. Now, Toby Bones is what I would call one of Laymon's proper, sick, deviant characters. And Laymon pretty much describes him as a fat, slobby sort of pervert character. Young lad who's in secondary, you know, upper school in America, whatever you call it. We call it secondary school in the UK. And he starts to basically stalk one of his substitute teachers, and that brings into the character of Sherry. Sherry is his substitute teacher, and he sets his sight on this Sherry throughout the book, which is obviously he has desires towards her, and being a Laymon, they've got to be brutal desires, haven't they? So Toby Bones is basically stalking Sherry, and he has Sherry on his mind. He's, like I say, a proper demented killer in this book. There is ultra violence in this book. Like some of the wounds, the knife injuries and stabbings and stuff in this book are absolutely stomach churning. A drill's used. There's some real like demented horror in this book. So let's talk about the character of Sherry a little bit. So Sherry is a substitute teacher who seems quite intelligent, yet at the same time almost a little dim. It seems like she seems to believe a lot of things in the book that lead her into these problems, all the time. And yet she's a teacher who's, initially painted as quite intelligent, yet she seems to fall for a lot of nonsense in this book quite often. Most of Toby's nonsense, you could have seen through straight away, the stories he was telling and stuff like that and the things he was saying. You think she would have broke away pretty quickly from him, but she kind of ends up walking herself into the problems that she has in the book, which is one of the flaws. There's a scene in the book where, after she's brutalised by Toby and believed to be left for dead, she's found by a couple of teenage boys. And in typical Laymon fashion, these two boys just fall madly in love with Sherry straight away. And it's kind of weird, like she kind of, almost like she falls in love with them, but because they're helping her, I think, more than anything else, but it's kind of a bit odd. But yeah, then she starts almost letting them do stuff with her that's not in order to get what she needs to survive, sort of thing, which sort of doesn't sit quite right. Didn't sit quite right with me the way I was reading it. And yeah, but it is a good book. It's still a really good book, especially the stuff about Toby and how psychopathic he gets. Because what I like about the character of Toby in this book is that obviously he's been thinking about doing what he's been doing for a long time. The chance has come for him to finally do it, but it's spiralled out of control, and it seems like it's one mistake after the next, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And with it, obviously, his psychoticness is getting more and more, which is a really good part of this book, to show you how things just get out of your control before you know it. It's just totally gone, isn't it? And that's what happens with Toby. It's like he starts off as this guy who's got a plan, but obviously his plan just goes to hell very quickly. So yeah, it's a good book. It's a lot of like I say, killings in this book. These two characters in Sherry team up. There's another random character who appears in this with the surname of Star, and they're in this cafeteria, and he ends up helping her, but obviously he gets injured as well. He's another random character who's just sitting in this restaurant at night staring at people, which I'd find hard to believe in somewhere like LA, because chances are you'd probably get shot, wouldn't you? But he's just randomly, and he said he goes there in the night and just studies people. And initially, Sherry thinks he's like a pervert or whatever when she's with Toby, but he's not. He's actually watching her, and he probably wonders if she needs help, but she's just not asking for help at that point of time. She trusted in Toby and what he was telling her. So yeah, this character ends up getting, not hurt, he ends up getting badly hurt very early on in the book. Part of the Toby's massacre, when he's going absolutely mental in this block of flats. So yeah, it's really good. It's a great book. It ends up being like almost in the end, like a vigilante team has come together to get Toby, who's then at this point of the book has set his sights on Sherry's whole family, and now he's set his sights on the younger sister, because he obviously wants to abuse her as well, in the same way many of females get abused in Laymon's books. He's now set his sight on her, and I think he's kind of come to a point where he's thinking, I'm going to die anyway, I might as well do what I need to do. And because at one point in the book, he's almost in his mind, like, when he does away with his family, he's just going to live a normal life and take over that family and their home and everything else and sort it out the way he wants it. He's like, almost like he's delusional. But it's a really, really good book. As I say, it's ultra violent, but it's one of the Laymon's, I would say, is in my top 10. Not the top, not the top, but it's certainly in there, definitely. I did like the way Laymon described like the massacre scene with Toby and the lengths he went to try and sort of hide it, and how he ended up trying to sort of sort himself out, because at one point he literally gets locked out of his car, he gets locked out of a flat, he's inside some woman's dressing robe and he's just covered in blood, and it just goes on and on from there. It's an absolute spiral, but it's a really, really good book. I liked it. it was, like I say, it was in my top 10. So if you've read this book, guys, please let me know what you thought of the book. Let me know what you thought of Laymon in particular, because I like having discussions about Laymon. I think he must have been he must have had the crazy mind to come up with these stories, because some of his stories are just unbelievable, but some are just so funny. But like I say, he's got that warped sense. He's got that really warped sense that came out of that 70s like era of no holds barred sort of films, books, you know, some real gruesome sort of outcomes. But yeah, so let me know in the comments if you like the review. If you didn't like the review, let me know. You know, I'm not adverse to criticism. I quite like having a chat with everybody. And I'd just like to find out what other people liked about Laymon's books or didn't like, you know. And even if you didn't like the review, just let me know. So thank you for watching. Please tune in again. And I'll see you on the next one. Like and subscribe.